Okay, first thing we're gonna do is make the grass. So we wanna use our entire paper, okay? So our grass is not gonna be super tiny. I'm gonna take my pointer finger. I want my grass to be at least as tall as half of my pointer finger. So where your knuckle is, try to kind of just put it at the bottom and then make a mark. So I know that they should be, my grass line should be about as tall as that. We don't want it super tiny down here. So now I'm just gonna try to draw some grass. Different sizes. But again, I'm trying to stay at that height that we started at. Okay. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of like up and down motions. Then I might go taller. Back up. And now my grass is done. Again, let's look at my finger. I actually went to the top of my finger, from the bottom of my pointer finger to the top, which is actually perfect. So that's what you want to do. Take your pointer finger, start it at the bottom of your page to the top, make a mark, and that's about as tall as your grass should go. Okay, once I have my grass done, now I'm going to start to draw my pumpkins. So again, I want to fill up a lot of this page. So we already have our grass down here. Here's about my halfway point, and I want to go up to about here. So let's measure it with my finger. About a finger length down from the top is how tall your pumpkin should be. So I'm just gonna make a dot there so I know that's about as tall as they should be. Again, we don't want them super tiny. We want to use most of our page for our drawing. So now I'm going to draw my pumpkin. So if you want to look at your guide to give you some ideas, and remember, you also have a guide that tells you exactly what to do for certain shapes. Okay? So I'm first going to start on my left side. Here's my dot. So start a little bit in. I'm going to start with an oval shape. And you'll notice that I'm not making it completely round. I want it to look like the grass is in front of my pumpkin. So now I'm going to start back at the top again, curve out. Again, I stop because my grass is there. Other side, curve out, and stop because my grass is there. I think I'm going to make it a little bit wider, so I'm going to start at the top again, go a little bit wider, and same over here. Go a little bit wider. Okay, so that is the basis of my pumpkin. You can see how much space is at the top and how much I've used for my paper. So you want them nice and big. I'm gonna add a stem. Remember, you can make your stems however you want. Here's my stem for that one. Okay, now I'm gonna maybe do a taller pumpkin. So I can kind of look at my guide, kind of like this one. So I just study the shape that is in the middle first. Okay, start about right here so I have space. Starts smaller and gets wider at the base. Gets wider. Go up to the top, wider at the bottom, back to the top, and I get wider at the bottom. Again, you can do your stem however you want. This one, I liked the example. It's kind of like a curly stem. And then it had that coming off. Then I go back and trace it so I have space to color it later. Back on the outside, so now I have a thicker line to color. Okay, I do have more space. I should have made this one closer together, but that's okay. I do have more space here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do one like this. So first, I'm just gonna do a oval. Halfway. Again, it's gonna be going off my page and behind my grass and partly behind this other pumpkin. And this one I'm gonna do squiggle lines down. You don't want to do them too tiny, too close to each other, because then you're not going to be able to color them. Maybe I'll do one more squiggle here. Now it needs a stem. I'm going to do a pretty basic stem on this one. Okay. I do think I kind of want to fit one behind here because I don't like how there's space, which is easy. Just gonna go, this one I think I'm gonna make a bumpy one. So I'm gonna start with the top and then kind of bumpy. Around here, you just kind of move your lines like that. And I'm gonna add some like accent lines down it, just to give it more emphasis on the shape that it's bumpy. For my stem on this one, I like this, up and over, and then maybe a little twisty off of it. Okay, so this is what I have drawn so far. I do have some space here. Again, I could fill it. I'll just do a tall one. So I'm gonna go to about here, almost like a pear shape. This is gonna be like a squash. And I'm just gonna kind of do some accent lines for it and a simple stem. Okay, you'll notice that a lot of my paper has been used for my pumpkins and my grass. That's perfect. I still need some sky, but I want a lot of my paper to be filled with my pumpkins and grass. I could add a leaf or something here, so start like this. Pumpkin leaves are like pretty big. So there's my pumpkin leaf. Okay. You don't want to color it in yet. We're going to do that with colors. Also, you have to draw light until it's right, so then I can erase if I don't like something. Once I have all the lines that I want, I've erased the ones that I don't want. I'm gonna go over it with a black crayon. You wanna push pretty hard so it's a nice outline. You're going over every single line that you are going to keep on your paper. If you're not going to keep it, you need to erase it before you go over with your crayon, or else you're gonna smudge your crayon when you're tracing. Again, I'm pushing pretty hard so it's nice and dark. Once I have outlined my grass and my pumpkins, along with my stems and leaves, now I'm going to take my oil pastels and I'm going to start making really small lines or strokes, and we don't want to leave a lot of white. We need some white, but not a lot. So let's watch. Just really tiny strokes of your color. Okay, you see I have a lot of that filled up. I could also go in with a different orange or some yellow on the side to give it some depth. make it look interesting. Again, I don't have a lot of white space. This one, I think I'm gonna start with my orange again. Lots of quick, little tiny strokes. You want some white, but not a lot. I'm not dotting it. They are little lines. That one probably needs more. But there's too much white there. You almost want it to look filled in, but not quite. Okay, so you're gonna continue to do this for all your pumpkins. Okay, so I finished my big pumpkin right here, and I want to put some red on it because I want some more emphasis on like kind of shading. So I'm going to add some red up to this side. Maybe a little bit onto this. One as well. You can kind of see how it's a little bit darker over here compared to this side. I think to break up my color a little bit, I'm gonna do this one, like yellows and oranges. So I start with my lighter color first. I'm gonna keep going and add some green to it. So now that kind of broke up my pumpkins. So I have two oranges next to each other. Now I have a yellow and green. I'm gonna go back now to orange for this one. I'm gonna come back in with an orange, a lighter orange. For this last one, I think that I'm going to do green with yellow lines. So I'm going to start with a light green first. And now I'm going to go back through with a dark green. Remember, they are not dots, they're little lines. And now I'm going to go through with my yellow. Okay, so now my pumpkins are done. I don't have a lot of white spots, but I do have some. Next, I want to do the stems. So I'm actually going to flip my paper over so I'm not dragging my hand across the oil pastel. So this way I can access the stems a little bit easier all the way with your oil pastel. It's going to be too hard to try to paint in there. Switch up my colors. I can add some light green in there. And now I'm going to take a little bit of my brown for some parts of my stem. So you can see that I added some brown just into some of my pieces. And here it is, all done. Now you need to move on to the grass.